I'm thankful that you did me wrong, cause now I got it right, I promise you gon' miss me gone. I done seen it all like the first picture phone. They wishing on my downfall with the wishing bone. Now unless you on cloud 10, under a rock, how you heard the motherfucking word? What's good, y'all? It's yours truly. Once again, HeartBreak Ace. If you're familiar with my content or not, hit that like, comment, subscribe so the algorithm gives breaking content every time I upload. But don't tell the algorithm I'm making this video, cause the algorithm will snitch. Yeah, last night he was talking trash, so I pulled up to his crib and jumped through the window, broke the glass everywhere. If you just don't got no money, well, I just don't care. Can't nobody take my pride. Can't nobody hold me down. Oh no, I got to keep on moving. Take that. Nah. Topic of discussion though while we here. I'll take y'all back. The year's 1999. 1999 and 2000 hot boys. 99. We talking P. Diddy, the diddler. The shooting that got Sean all that time in prison, and now he is Belize and he's the ambassador of Belize or something like that, which is weird and crazy. But for years he kept saying he was the fall guy for Diddy. You know, Diddy got all this power, so of course, you know, it got swept under the rug. Well, it might be more proof that Sean was telling the truth, because the victim of the New York shooting that had Diddy, J-Lo, and Sean, all of them involved, the victim from this whole situation, she spoke out. Shout out to Order Dialogue. If you don't know who Order Dialogue is, he's also the one that basically helped solve the murder of Tupac with Keefy D, with Vlad. They was the two one antagonizing him with the questions, and they got the answers out of him. Now, bring y'all back up to speed. The person that got shot in this whole situation, she said she saw 4K vision who shot her. Now, I'm gonna give y'all a little background story from her so y'all can understand who she is. So it's gonna be kind of like a little lengthy video, but then she gonna break down the whole night of events of what led to the shooting. So we're probably gonna swear the block for a little minute, but you know, just bear with me. Spin the block.
Wasting their time. They believe that they are going to be able to develop enough witness information and physical evidence through these search warrants that they want to file charges.
From federal raids and possible criminal charges to shocking allegations laid out in multiple bombshell lawsuits, P. Diddy has found himself in some serious hot water. But could Diddy's past be coming back to haunt him?
That crime could be reopened and say this is a RICO predicate act, and then you add a couple more acts under the, you know, sex trafficking, the drugs, the gun, and certainly that 1999 shooting could be the cornerstone of a case like that.
We're taking a closer look at the 1999 nightclub shooting in New York and what a new investigation could look like.
Sometimes with time, with the passage of time, people aren't as intimidated and they're not as threatened, and they get away from the person who is the threat, and they feel more forthcoming to testify or to give statements in lieu of testimony.
Right off the bat.
Happy to have you on the platform.
Thank you. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for asking.
Yes, indeed. So before we get into your story, introduce yourself to the people.
Okay, I'm Natanya Rubin. I am a mother. I am a widow. God rest my husband's soul. I am a lover of art. I have a reupholstery business. I'm a life insurance agent. I am a woman of many things. I call myself a Renaissance woman. I do many things. I have lots of skills and gifts, and I'm thankful to the Most High for them all. I'm also a victim survivor. I like to call myself a survivor. I was a victim of a shooting that night in the club, December 27th, 1999, shot in the face by Sean Puffy Combs. I was an innocent bystander. There's this notion online, what you did to make him shoot you? Nothing. But not that I or anybody deserved it. I was an innocent bystander, but I am a survivor. 24-year survivor.
So with that being said, right, if you don't mind, can you give me a play-by-play of everything that took place when you got shot by Diddy at the nightclub?
Okay, I can say I was at a girlfriend's house. We hung out for the holiday. My kids were spending Christmas with my grandmother. Everybody decided, I had decided against going initially because I'd gotten saved, so I wasn't really out and about. But my girlfriends were like, come on, come on. One of our girlfriends, her name is Big Stacy. She's a party promoter in the New York City area. And I decided, you know, I'm going to go to support Stacy because we're friends and we supported each other in our endeavors. So I went out to support her promoting her own party that was at New Year's Eve. I wasn't going to go to the New Year's Eve party, so I went ahead after Christmas and went with them to the party. We were getting dressed. I didn't really have any clothes to go out over there. Like I said, I hadn't been going out. And so I was going to go home to get clothes. And they were all saying, come on, Eb. You know, everybody calls me Ebony for short. Come on, Eb, don't go home. If you go home, you're not going to come back. And they were probably right. If I went all the way home to the section of Brooklyn I lived in, I wasn't going to come back. So my girlfriend said, why don't you wear one of my outfits? So I'm like, nah, I'm not going to wear your outfit. I'll go to my sister's house. Went to my sister's house, got an outfit to wear, came back because it was relatively close in the same section of Brooklyn, Crown Heights. I came back and I was getting myself together to go. They had already complained that I was taking too long, I took too long, so they were already moving out of the door down to the car. In my foray towards the front door, I was putting my earring in, and my girlfriend Kelly, whose house we were at, had a big Rottweiler named Brick. Brick jumps up, stands fully tall, and puts his feet on my back, on my shoulder, and it knocks my earring out of my hand. The earring falls, goes under the fish tank that broke earlier that week. And so there were still little pieces of glass under there. So when I went to get my earring, cut my finger. Just all these little things trying to stop me from going out of the door. I go clean my finger, I get the piece of glass out, I clean it, I wrap it, put on a Band-Aid, put my earring in. As I reach the threshold, they're blowing the horn, telling me to hurry up. I step 1 foot across the threshold and a voice says, go change your shoes. Now, I knew it was God. God talks to me all the time. So I was like, if I change my shoes, I have to change all of my accessories. And God just repeated, go change your shoes. Now, I'm a stiletto girl. I would stand up in my beauty salon in stilettos for hours and hours on end. This particular day, I had on short ankle boots. I'm not a flats kind of girl. I don't really wear flats. Well, now I do. But back then, I did not. Those boots that I had on were flats. The heel was probably just about this big, and they were ankle boots, some snakeskin ankle boots. And I went back and I changed the boots. The boots I changed into, I had just bought them a month earlier around Thanksgiving from Bloomingdale's. And there's a story behind it. But what I had a girlfriend named Pat, whose sons were like the neighborhood guys that watch your back and all of that and kind of they're on the block. She asked me for a favor. I did her hair. She came back and paid me at a later date and gave me a gift card to Bloomingdale's. I took that gift card, went to the store, bought these boots. So this is bigger than just change your boots. It was an act of faith and an act of love for a friend that was repaid to me. I took that act of love that was repaid, went and bought a pair of boots, and those boots saved my life. I put those boots back. I went and put those boots on, which had a heel on them, went down to the car, we went off to the club. They were complaining, you took so long, you're taking so long, we were gonna leave you. We laughed it off, we got to the club. We pull up to the block, and there are 2 ambulances at the front of the block as you turn the corner, halfway in the street and halfway on the sidewalk on each side, narrowing the stream of traffic to 1 lane. And I instantly said, 2 ambulances? Are they expecting somebody to die? What is this? Because I had never, ever seen that at a club or at this club. And it just stood out as so weird to me. My friends were like, I had just gotten saved. So they were like, oh, come on, hallelujah. Don't start with all that. Making their jokes. You know how it is. I'm from New York. We got thick skin. I'm not bothered by it. But it stood out to me instantly. It was a very cold day. So when we got to the front of the club, there were lots of people outside. And anyone who's familiar with the club scene knows, especially a club that's considered popping, they're always going to leave some degree of a line outside so that the additional people who arrive think, oh, wow, look at all these people. It must really be jumping. It's just a whole marketing thing for the nightclub scene. It's what they do. So there were tons of people outside. We pulled up to we got out, we went in front of the club, and so many people, I can say that I was relatively popular, and I knew so many people out there. And everybody kept saying, Ab, what you doing here? I thought you was in the church. I thought what you coming to preach a sermon? People were making jokes and stuff like that. And I thought it was funny. We laughed. And I was like, I'm just out here chilling, helping Stacey promote. And everybody kept calling my name. People were because people had kind of steered away from me for a while. You know how it is when you first get saved and you swing the pendulum all the way to the far left. Now, everybody that comes in your presence, you're like, let me lay hands on you, girl. The Father God told me to tell you this. And everybody was like, stay clear of Eb. She got the Holy Ghost in her. Steer clear of her. So eventually you kind of swing your pendulum back and settle somewhere in the middle that's comfortable. But at that time, like I said, I was freshly saved. So I was a holy roller. But in being a friend, I'm loyal. I promised Stacey that I would be there for her. And so I was. Instantly when I walked in, I felt, well, let me back that up. So the owner of the club, he has like brothers or something. They all look alike. There's this group of people, the Burgos family. They all look alike. He came to the door and said, how many are you guys? How many's with you, Stacey? She counted us out and we all went in. So they made us come in. When I was approaching the security guard, this particular one security guard, a female security named Sharice Myers, who was found out that she lied and committed fraud and all this stuff. When I was walking in, she checked my bag and she's like, you can't bring this in here. This is a weapon. It was a comb, a hair comb, a rat tail comb. She made such a big to-do about this comb, took it out of my bag, yet you allow 4 people or 3 people to come in with guns. Like, make it make sense. So we get in the club, she takes my comb, she makes this big scene, we get in the club, and I'm really, the entire time I'm in this frame of mind, like, why did I come? Why did I come? So everybody, it's active, it's, as they say, the club was jumping, and everybody's trying to, they see people they know and everybody's heading off somewhere. So I was like the designated driver homegirl. I just held a little corner in the front. I didn't go deep into the club because I wasn't in a party state of mind. I didn't feel like I should have been there. And I just held my little corner across from the bar. I stood in this little area by this half a metal wrought iron gate, and I just stood there. My friends would go off, do their thing, corner in the front. I didn't go deep into the club because I wasn't in a party state of mind. I didn't feel like I should have been there. And I just held my little corner across from the bar. I stood in this little area by this half a metal wrought iron gate, and I just stood there. My friends would go off, do their thing, come back and check on me. You good, Eb? You want something to drink? You good? I just was like, I'm good. Y'all go ahead. I was only in the club an hour and 15 minutes before I got shot. While I was standing there, right across from me at the other side, which is where the bar was, I saw Scar, Matthew Allen, the guy that Puffy got into the fight with, that caused this whole melee to take place. I knew Scar. Scar's mother lived across the street from one of my beauty salons. I've known Scar from the street. I've known him for years, and we were cool. He's like, hey, what you doing in here? Because he knew I got saved too. And so he's like, uh-oh, praise the Lord, you up in here? What you doing in here? Everybody was shocked to see me there because they all knew. That's how 10 toes down I am. Wherever I'm doing, everyone is going to know. It's not a secret for me. And so because everybody knew I got saved and I was not out at clubs and stuff like that, it was clear, what you doing here? And so I was like, oh, Stacey's promoting her stuff and I'm just out here with her promoting, supporting her, and that's it. He said, what you drinking? Let me get you a drink. I said, I'm not drinking. So I said, I'll take a juice. So he ended up getting me a juice. He even laughed, like, you got me ordering juice? I said, I'm not drinking. And that's the thing about me as well. When I say what I say, people respect my decisions, just like I respect theirs. If I'm not participating in an activity, no one can make me do it. It just so happens I drank my juice. I was standing on the side. One of my girlfriends came to me eventually and said, I want to go to the restroom. And so I walked with her to the restroom. We went down, we descended the staircase, which was right beside where I was standing, and we went around the perimeter. Because if you know a club, it's all thick and congested in the middle, and I don't want to be brushing against people and all that stuff. So we walked the perimeter, the outer perimeter of the club, and we went to the bathroom. As I got down there walking, you could see that the club was really like packed. There were tons of people there. And so I was like, wow, it's really, crowded in here. You could kind of see who and who was in the club. So we went to the bathroom. I went right back to my spot. In no time, a bunch of people start ascending up the staircase from the dance floor and coming into what would be the corridor between where I was standing on one side and where the bar was and a bunch of other people were standing, where Scar was standing. That walkway led to the front door. And whenever celebrities or someone notable is making their way through the club, you know how it is. They have the main people, they have the entourage, their security or whatever, the hangers-on, and everybody who wants to be adjacent to them. And so that's what happened. All those people trying to be adjacent, like, oh, where they going? Let me walk where they walking. Jumped on too. So it was it swole. That little walkway swole with people. As they were ascending the stairs, Shine's song was on, it was going off, and Black Rob's song, Whoa, was coming on. So that little intro, like that instrumentation. And so people were like, it was a current song at the time. It was popping. People were feeling themselves and they started, posturing and bravado and everybody was hyped. As they came through with that kind of mentality, they bumped into Scar's back. Now, Scar's back was to the walkway, so he couldn't see who was coming. He was facing the bar. His back was to the walkway. As they came through, they pushed him and his drink went in his face. So like anybody, if somebody pushes you from the back, he elbowed back, like, get off of me. When he elbowed back, they tried to push. And so it made the whole crowd start swaying. And that's when they got into this whole interaction, like, yo, he apparently, I don't know all the details in that, but I know, I didn't know them firsthand at the time. I do know them now. He tried to say something to him or whatever, and then they said whatever they said. And then one of the guys that was with Scar, apparently Puffy gestured in some type of way that they didn't like. And one of the guys that was with Scar slapped him in the face with a wad of money. It was like the young guys are now on, doing that little phone brick thing. Well, he had this wad of money in his hand for whatever reason, because I wasn't standing near them. I was across. But all I know is I saw when he swung and slapped and money was raining through the sky and falling to the floor. Everybody started trying to run and pick up money, and it was just craziness. It was lights, action, camera, people scurrying for money, trying to catch money out of the sky, and that melee was still taking place. Now, when I saw that, I turned around to my friend and I was like, uh-oh, shit is getting crazy in here. You see this? And never in a million years did I think it would escalate to a shooting. I thought it was male bravado. It was cold as ice outside, so I had no reason to believe it would get to that. But in no time, one thing led to another. The money was falling down. And then I see Shine, I hear the raised voices, and I see Shine and Puffy start backing back. Now, we don't all watch the Hood movie or whatever. We know what it looks like when people are backing back and reaching from their hip to pull. So as they were backing back, they were drawing from their hip. And I turned to tell my friend, like, ooh, girl, watch out. Oh, my God. Because there was really nowhere for me to go. Where I was standing, there was a wrought iron metal rail to my back. I couldn't go. There was a drop over that. In fact, one of my friends fell over it onto the dance floor after everything happened. There was nowhere for me to go. And so as they were going back, they were backing back, like literally walking backwards towards the door, drawing from their hip. I told my friend, I said, oh my God, watch out. As I turned back to look at them, I watched them bow, bow. Both of them fired, and the muzzle flash was like, psh, psh. Shine's muzzle flash was a little higher. He was on the side closest to the bar. Puffy's muzzle flash was a little lower, and he was on the side closest to where I was, straight ahead from me. I watched them both fire their guns. I watched them. I got hit right here, in my nose, in between my eyes, which means I'm facing directly at you. Just like I'm looking at you, and I can tell you got on black shades. They kind of look like Gazelles and an Adidas shirt. That's exactly how I was looking at him. And I watched him shoot me. So, not to digress, it always bugs me when people say, how can you be sure? The same way you're sure when your man is lying to you, or when your woman is lying to you, or the same way you're sure when you ask your kids a question and they do that little thing they do when they're not being honest and you know they're telling a story. I'm that sure. We know people that we love. We know people's tells or body language or whatever. The same way you're sure that I have on a green shirt, I'm certain that he shot me. Now, was he aiming at me? Was I the object of his fire? Absolutely not. I should not have been, because I didn't do anything to him. But is that what resulted? Absolutely, because I see a lot of people online get stuck on that. Oh, well, why would he shoot you? What did you do? Did you owe him money? And I'm like, class, pay attention.
All right, y'all, we back. Spitting the block one time. Hope y'all ain't dizzy. If you is, I get it this time. We was swerving the block for a long time. But I got you. Hear me out. What we simply looking at is the position of power. Now, as we all know, P. Diddy losing a lot of his assets, power. He trying to lay his money so he can fight these cases that he probably about to get indicted for. So, because he losing his power, a lot of people ain't scared no more. They coming out of the woodworks, like my grandmother used to say, and they just simply going all in. It's all or nothing at this point. And I ain't want to put no bad light on him, but it look like he been doing that to people's lives for eternity. So, you ain't gonna be able to dance your way out of this one, Diddy. I'm sorry. All the dancing in the video shit, man, ain't gonna work this time. So I can see Suge Knight probably, if they let him smoke a cigar in prison, he's smoking a cigar, which he probably is because he on PC. But anyway, your reign on top is over. That's a fact. Cause I don't think this woman, why would she lie about which one of y'all shot her? Both of y'all, she admit both of y'all shot y'all gun. But why would she lie and say Sean shot her if he didn't shoot her? I don't think there's that much fear in the world. She gonna want the person that shot her in the face to go down. And she gonna fear that person the most. And all lies will be exposed. You heard what Cat Williams said, man. I can only imagine how you feeling, man. All that success, all that money, it's all about to deteriorate. You about to lose everything. Your only hope is your kids can continue your generational wealth, which is kind of hard because anything with your name on it ain't going nowhere. All that work you put in, because let's not deny that you did put in some work, man. But you also did it with a lot of receipts and involvement in malicious acts. Your hands dirty. And when they clean them off this time, bro, you might well get your nails done and paint your nails, but they're gonna clean your ass all the way out. It's over. And like I said before, if you did these things that they allege you did, who gonna feel sorry for you? So we lost a lot of legends. Biggie, Pop, other people being murdered, your wife, people you antagonizing, all kind of stuff. The band, people that lost their livelihood financially, mentally, and spiritually because of you. Now it's time to pay the piper. You are the dealer. So it's time for the dealer to pay the piper. I can see you in the cell right now with R. Kelly. Doing, 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 doing. That's all I have for y'all, man. Leave a comment down below. You know this world keeps showing me every day. And it's showing y'all why I always say love each other. Till next time, it's yours truly, HeartBreak.